Those with a keen eye can tell that this is a 28 nozzler. So if I were to get a 7mm, I think it would have to be the 28 nozzler, but only with certain conditions. We'll go into that. But the 28 nozzler, it's a fire-breathing dragon. Now I know what a bunch of you are going to say. How could I get a 28 nozzler? You are constantly telling people you want one of these, the 280 Ackley Improved. I guess I should clarify now. To not be misleading in the title when saying my favorite 7mm Magnum, most people are going to think 7 Rem Mag. So what I mean is, if I were to get a Magnum in 7mm, it'd be 28 nozzler. It's no doubt the top 3 7mm Magnums that dominate the market right now. Kind of the new kid on the block, the hot, trendy one, 7mm PRC. No doubt this cartridge is extremely accurate. It's set up properly in a modern twist rate, modern chamber. It's really good. The only downside to it is velocity. Then the current king of 7mm is the 7mm Remington Magnum. This is just about a perfect cartridge if you don't want extreme velocities, but you want a little bit better than the 7 PRC. It's kind of right in the middle, just right. But it does have that belt. There's a lot of people that are, oh, a belt. I don't really care, but I understand. Then we have the 28 nozzler when you just want more. Real quick, I just want to talk about the history of the 28 nozzler. It came out in 2016, parent case, I guess a 26 nozzler, but really both of these are based off a 300 Remington Ultra Magnum, shortened to fit a standard length cartridge, and then obviously neck down to 7mm, shortened 300 Rum. Now let's talk about the pluses and the minuses for the 28 nozzler. Obviously, the number one reason you get a 28 nozzler is it's fast, really fast. Let's go to 175 grain, seems to be the most popular bullet, I think. And you're over 3,200 feet per second. Pretty good. I have access to a 28 nozzler that has a 24-inch barrel. We're using H1000 and we're getting 3170. So with a 26-inch barrel, I think over 3,200 is extremely easy and doable for this cartridge. Speaking of just how awesome the velocity is in 28 nozzler, as I said, the gun that I've tested 28 nozzler in, it has a 24-inch barrel. And in the Hornady book, they actually have load data. 175 ELDX is what we used. And we had some access to LRT. And that's a ball powder that gets you insane velocities. We used 90.7 grains. And let's just say we got a little bit more than what Hornady said you would get with 3248 barrel. Woo! So what are some of the downsides to the 28 nozzler? Let's talk the design. It is definitely a modern design, but I wish Nozzler would have made it kind of like a PRC. So what did they do? Well, they kept it at a long action. So it is restricted to 3.340. Depending on your rifle, it's not going to be right at 3.340, but I just wish they would have went with a magnum action instead of a long, so that you could seat these bullets out to like over 3.5 inches or so. It would have been awesome. As it sits with factory ammo and SAMI spec, you're seating these bullets in pretty darn far. It is what it is. So while I love the potential of the 28 nozzler, the ballistics, my personal experience with 28 nozzler in a Savage 110 Ultralight has been very hit and miss. Sadly, mostly miss. So this is a Savage 110 Ultralight. It has an aftermarket Bell & Carlson stock. Also put a Timney trigger on it. Very nice trigger. This has a Vortex Razor And then it has the proof research barrel. This one is a 24-inch barrel. What I've found with this rifle and this proof research barrel is that it's too light of a contour and way too light of a gun. So the gun comes in originally at 6 pounds without a scope. So with this Razor LHT, you know, it's sitting around maybe 7.5 pounds. That is a lot of recoil in 28 Nosler for that light of a gun. And then these proof research barrels are really awesome, but I'm just gonna say they're not made for overbore cartridges like 28 Nosler. One other thing with this, I give my dad a hard time all the time, is you got a way overbore 28 Nosler and it only has a 24-inch barrel. That's really disappointing to me. So if I were ever to get a 28 Nosler, I'd get a really heavy contour barrel, get a gun that's at least 10 pounds, and then put at least a 26-inch barrel on it so that I can get the most potential out of it. So I just wanted to show you the potential of the 28 Nosler when it's set up properly. 26-inch barrel, and I would get it throated out correctly so that you could seat bullets out like this instead of it stuffed in there. You know, you can seat them out to like 3.6 inches, which is what this is at. So that just looks right to me. Yeah, with the 26-inch barrel, 3250 is extremely easy to get. 4,100 foot-pounds of energy, by the way. 400 yards, 2,745 foot-pounds. This is all at sea level, so it's only going to get better as you go up in elevation. At 800 yards, bullets going 2136 feet per second, and you still have well over 1,500 foot-pounds of energy. It's really good. And out to 1,000, your bullet is going almost 1,900 feet per second. You also have 1,402 foot-pounds of energy. And I forgot to write it down, but I just wanted to share with you the drop at 1,000 yards. Guys, there's not much that's going to beat the 28 Nosler. You're getting 5.78 mils at 1,000 in drop, which is insane. If money was no object, yeah, I would get a 28 Nosler. It'd have to be a custom gun because I don't want it semi-spec'd. Get the throat longer, get it ideally at least in 26. I'd probably get it in a 28-inch barrel because I want to get the most out of this cartridge. And yeah, give it in a really heavy contour barrel in a heavy gun. This thing would be insane. Would be a lot of fun.
Okay, tell me so I can lower, because these are...
This is our guy. Who's that?
It's going to be probably in the 0.3 inch group, maybe quarter M away. It actually might be smaller.